Is a not jokes.
A not joke is when we're trying to make fun of something, and what we do is we make a statement that we pretend is true, but at the end we say not, which means it's not true.
So teach me how to make one.
All right.
Hello everybody, it's me Borat. In this video I'm going to explain to you why Tom Schaar is my favorite skateboarder, and he is #1 most attractive, most handsome, strongest, most versatile, new #1 best vert skateboarder of all time. Nobody's seen anything like this on a skateboard ever before. He should have won Skater of the Year, not Chris Joslin. But yeah, this was very interesting from Tony, and this is a collaborative post with Birdhouse. So off rip, you guys should know that Tom Schaar rides for Birdhouse. So him even making like, oh my God, Ted, are you fucking kidding me? That's sickening. I'm sick to my stomach. Ted, you're making me sick. But anyway, Tony's already uber biased because he literally sponsors the guy that is having a Soty run, so he has a vested interest. If it was like, oh yeah, Tony just happens to be picking his favorite skater here, that's clearly not true. I don't know the exact criteria for Thrasher Skater of the Year. Okay, so immediately, why are you talking then? Actually, you know, Thrasher's criteria is very similar to Tony's, where they're like, how would it benefit me? While we have seen some of the most incredible and inspiring street performances over the last year, this is like already this just a boring, like PR fucking ass statement. He doesn't care. I checked his Instagram profile from last December because I'm like, oh, maybe he has something to say about Soty every year. No, all that he posted last December was that his podcast with Jason Ellis was over, and then he also posted a photo of him molesting a child.
I ain't got time for you fake ass hoes. Talking all loud in them fake ass clothes. Fake ass shoes, match that fake ass clothes. I'm the realest bitch ever seen fake ass hoes.
I'm not like a Tony Hawk type of dude. I don't have to lie to you or maintain some public face. So, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about by his own admission. Most incredible, inspiring street performances over the last year. No, we haven't. Tom Schaar has single-handedly raised the profile and possibilities of vertical skateboarding. Okay, this is the issue. This is not just Tony saying this. Anybody, like I saw Justin Eldridge had a post as well, which why the fuck is he talking about this?
All right, so I want to give my little take on Skater of the Year. I am not one to say someone should have won, someone shouldn't have won.
Literally what he is about to do.
But I will say that I have to give Tom Schaar his flowers. El Toro might be Yosemite, but Bob's Ramp is, you know, Mount Everest. The shit just looks insanely, it's just a different level that it took my breath away type shit.
I'm not even going to get into how fucking stupid it is to compare El Toro to the Mega Ramp. The tallest mountain at Yosemite is Mount Lyell, 13,000 feet. Okay, Mount Everest is 29,000 feet, over twice the height. In Bustin' Twat Ridge's analogy, that would mean that skating Bob Burnquist's mega ramp, or any mega ramp, is twice as hard as skating El Toro. There have been 3 flip tricks ever done down El Toro. Kickflip melon, basically the same fucking trick, and now tray flip. That's it. In El Toro's history, 3 flip tricks, basically 2 flip tricks, ever been done down it. Now, Bob put out an entire part, you know, and has done probably hundreds different tricks on his mega ramp. They host entire X Games events where multiple different vert skaters do different tricks on the fucking mega ramp. Imagine if there were videos of like 8 guys in a row going down El Toro one after the other, doing like a kickflip indie, and then a 720, then a Christ air. Whatever these vert guys do, they all do this shit on the mega ramp. There's 1,000 different tricks you can do. Like, that doesn't happen. It's the most absurd, nonsensical analogy I've ever fucking heard. Like, Bob Burnquist literally did backflip, finger flip over his mega ramp.
Allow yourself to relax completely. Relax your
For this to
eyebrows.
make sense, this double the size analogy, somebody would have had to have done
Relax
double backflip, double
your
finger
face.
flip down El Toro. That's like, because it would be twice as easy to skate, right? If it was twice the size, so you'd be able to do tricks that are twice as difficult. No, there have only been 3 tricks, and somebody fucking tray flipped it. Never more than 3 tricks if you count like ollie and nollie, and then did someone 180 it? I don't fucking know, but yeah, like 5 tricks. Tom Schaar barely even fucking skates Bob's ramp. Bob skated Bob's ramp. Tom Schaar's just kind of he does like 4 tricks there. So what the fuck are we talking about? He didn't film a full part on Bob's ramp. He's most of the time is skating little tiny skate parks and the mini mega and Tony Hawk's ramp. He barely skates Bob's fucking ramp.
You are a golf wonker wearing a hat that says
Palm Springs.
Of course you're going to root for the vert guy skating inside on Tony Hawk's $1 million ramp.
Justin Eldridge, he got fired from the 9 Club. Do you know how boring and wrong you have to be to get fired from the 9 Club, dude? The most
Boring and wrong podcast of all time. He was too boring and wrong for them.
He's single-handedly raised the profile and possibilities of vertical skateboarding. Usually, when people make claims of this nature about anything, they take the time to substantiate and explain what they're talking about. I have not seen this from anyone promoting Tom Schaar. Like, not a single person can point me in the direction of a single trick or accomplishment or feat that he has executed this year that would sort of validate this. And if I were Tom, this is a weird thing. He's in the comments of all these posts being like, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, thank you. But it's like, I would be so uncomfortable because I'd be like, yeah, I'm like a good vert skater, sure. But I'm not like these people that I'm being compared to. Like, what did he do to raise the profile and possibilities of vertical skateboarding? Look, man, I'm not even trying to talk shit. Tom is a really solid, a great vert skater. Both these tricks, the disaster and the blunt flip on the Bob's ramp, both really good. But the only thing he's redefining are these nuts, bitch. Like, the way that his footage is being praised, they're acting like he dropped 2 parts of non-stop earth-shattering bangers. And that's just not what happened. He dropped 2 good parts. And that's fine. But what the fuck is everybody pretending that he's the second coming of Christ on a vert ramp? In vert skating, there are static obstacles where the progression can be easily measured. You have the vert ramp and you have the mega ramp. He's not doing anything that hasn't been seen. Danny Way, right? Yeah, Danny Way. He won twice, okay? Danny Way, he won twice. He jumped the Great Wall of
China.
His skating is masterful and creative. Okay, this is not like a personal thing, even though I think, you know, a lot of this is not within your control. When you are a Soty candidate, you kind of just get thrown into the mix, and people treat you very uncharitably because you are vying for an award, and you do volunteer yourself to extreme criticism in this process. But I do understand as well, you can't control, like, I'm not going to get mad at Tom necessarily because Tony Hawk is bullshitting about his skating. That's not Tom's fault. What's creative about what Tom is doing? On a level not seen since Danny and Bob enlightened us with what it means to truly go big. What's Tom doing that's creative? Even in this clip, he's skating a soccer goal, right? That's ABD as fuck. You compare street skating and vert skating, okay? So street skating should kind of be hypothetically about, going out and finding spots and tampering as little as possible. Sometimes you have to change things around, knob things, create things, bondo things, whatever. You have to chop a bush every now and again. You have to do certain things to make spots skatable. People understand that. But overall, it's like, yeah, try to avoid bringing a fucking kicker ramp to the spot or a roll-in. You interact with the environment and you're skating things that are not designed to be skated. If you skate something that was constructed or built with skating in mind, and that is its function, it ain't street skateboarding. Vert skating is the opposite of that because you are skating stuff that is purposefully, explicitly, and exclusively made to be skated on. We all understand that, right? So what that means with vert skating is it's additive. So you can take things and plop them on top of the ramp. You can build a new type of ramp. It's like fucking Minecraft. It's sandbox. That's what I'm trying to say. So if you have an idea, you can bring it to life. There's so much infrastructure already for Tom to build on top of. He has access to pretty much every premier vert facility from what I can tell watching his parts. Tony's indoor ramp, Bob's outdoor ramp, Elliot Sloan's mini mega ramp, whatever he wants to skate, a bunch of random monster ramps I don't even know about, he can skate them. Okay, so popping back in here while editing, because I was like, oh, I'm going to watch Tom's first part again. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. And maybe I'm wrong about this entire thing. I started second guessing myself because all these big pros or whatever, and Ted Barrow, the biggest name of them all, is endorsing Tom, so maybe I'm the one who's crazy. Okay, so this is Elliot Sloan's ramp, and it's a mini mega. That quarter pipe is not the size of Bob's mega. He does crook fakie on it. Bob already did this fucking switch on a bigger ramp. What are we doing? As if this wasn't criminal enough already. He does half cab front crook fakie. Try and guess where you think I'm going with this.
You are not him.
You are not the guy.
I mean, literally the same exact trick, 15 years later on a smaller ramp, and I have people DMing me on Instagram telling me that I'm crazy for not believing that this is brand new shit. It's literally not brand new. I'm watching it.
In my opinion, the strongest stuff from Tom Schaar all year were his tricks on Tony's ramp, where they took out a couple sections and they made the gap larger. This is a combination of what I was talking about earlier, what I look for from a vert skater, which is really high skill and reimagining your approach to skating a ramp or skating a new ramp, something like that, However, this is only one section out of two parts. If he had entire parts that were this impressive and of this caliber, then I'd be like, yeah, I totally see him as a Soty. But that's not what happened. In fact, there's just a bunch of weird miniature ABD tomfoolery happening.
You're not that guy, pal, trust me.
On a smaller ramp ABD, I mean, the conversation about this is just totally disingenuous. And also just throwing in blatant ABDs and then hoping that nobody is going to notice. How I was able to figure all of this shit out? I'm not even a vert expert. So you better believe that Tom Schaar, the guy's actually skated vert his entire life, knows exactly what he's doing. So why should that be acceptable? And why should we, believe that he's supposed to be a fucking Soty guy?
I mean, look at this. 180 switch fucking 5-0 grind thingy on Bob's rainbow rail. That's the only thing that he did on this. That's one trick he did on this rainbow rail, right? Do you have any idea what Bob did to this thing? The various ways in which he defiled it? If you weren't counting, that's 10 tricks that Bob did on this. And, you know, I would say the majority of them are harder than what Tom even did. And Tom was only even able to do that move because that's his signature move. He does those like 12 times in one part, and he does a variation on that trick for his ender in his last part. This is Bob in a best trick contest on an elevated rail doing essentially the same trick that Tom Schaar, the guy who's supposedly progressing vert skating, did on an indoor ramp as the ender to his fucking video part. Unlimited tries. Bob did this outside in front of an audience in a fucking clutch moment decades ago.
Freestyle right now.
I mean, in his first video part, Tom literally skates the same exact fucking obstacle pretty much and just nose blunts it.
This nigga's legendary. Based on what?
And I don't want to hear any shit about, oh, he doesn't have the resources or whatever. Dude, Cheese and Crackers, like an all-time classic skate video. You know what they were working with? They were working with a mini ramp in a warehouse, and they made obstacles out of fucking trash, man! Trash! Literally junk. And so I don't want to like hear any fucking excuses. And also the people like, oh, well, there's everything in vert has already been done. Where it's like, okay, if that's the issue, what's the point in fucking doing it at all? Why even bother skating vert? And we know it's not true because Bob Burnquist in Tom Schaar's second part did the best trick. Switch front foot impossible lip slide. And he's 50.
After he does this incredible new vert trick on this fucking hip spot that he made, they put Tom's trick like in slow motion on the drop of the music, and he just does backtail shove. They don't even put Bob's trick in slow motion. They put backtail shove afterwards by a guy half his age in his physical prime doing an easier trick. I can't even believe the audacity to go to Bob Burnquist's ramp and do a nose slide to fakie.
What was that?
Anyway, nose slide to fakie. Look at what Bob was doing on this shit. Switch nose grind up into switch lip. Why the fuck would you go there and do nose slide fakie?
Pushing the limits physically and creatively. His skating is now inspiring people to ride ramps and bowls for the first time on a global scale. Where are you getting this information? Hey, he just making this up. He just produced this from thin air. And here he is, less than a week after dropping a revolutionary first part this year was called Vert is Not Dead. And good, I'm glad somebody is skating vert, but like, why does it need to be packaged directly comparing him to the GOATs of vert skating just because he happens to be doing it? One guy just decides randomly, oh yeah, I'm gonna try this here. I'm gonna give it a go. And then all of a sudden he's fucking Bob Burnquist too. No, he's not. This is insane. This is Tony Hawk, the world's most famous skateboarder, right, Monica Lewinsky?
In today's episode, I spoke with the very cool and very kind skateboarder and entrepreneur, Tony Hawk. You probably know him as the most famous skateboarder in the world.
Why? What the fuck? 8 months ago, nobody even knew about this. Some guy just sent it to me and was like, hey, did you know he's on Monica Lewinsky's podcast, the guy that blew Bill Clinton? Or the woman, excuse me. The Tom train has left the station at mega speed and looks to be unstoppable, making him our obvious choice for Soty 2025.
Just give up and die.
Okay, so the situation, oh my God, got worse. This is the craziest shit I have seen from Tony Hawk since I've been covering him. And I've been trying to tell people for a while, I've been trying to explain how annoying Tony Hawk is, and it never really takes.
I was the first skater of the year in 1990. I went to the first skater of the year party up in San Francisco, and this was the trophy they handed me, but because I'm not very good with trophies. The actual body broke off. Burnett said that was a G.I. Joe, but this is representative of the first cover of Thrasher, so the guy's doing kind of a slasher grind. Anyway, I lost the body and the feet come off, but I feel very strongly that Tom should have received Skater of the Year this year. So I'm going to give him my trophy.
All right, this is the furthest I've ever watched here. I don't know what happens the rest of the video, so if I play it, I will be, reacting to it for the first time.
Very cool and very kind skateboarder, and
that's what everybody wants you to think about Tony Hawk.
You probably know him as the most famous skateboarder in the world.
The most famous skateboarder in the world. So, if I get on here, right, and I make a video about how I think that Thrasher chose wrong this year. They chose, fucking Jamie Foy, and I thought they should have chose Deeds or whatever. Say I get on there and this is what I say, okay? That it doesn't fucking matter. I'm nobody, really. I mean, I'm somebody, but the somebody that I am is an outsider. I'm not really in the industry. I'm not a pro skater. And I also came up, the only reason I'm relevant in skating is for doing this exact type of thing, which is fucking complaining about what's going on. It's the same thing with Weck, for example. This year, he did a People's Champ Soty. Usually somebody or another decides that they want to host their own sort of voting system, and so people can have some kind of catharsis about who wins. And I think TJ Rogers won Weck's fan vote thing. Very nice. That being said, Weck or myself or whoever being Thrasher sucks, fuck who they picked is fine. Because that's what we do. That's our function within skating. That's not you, Tony Hawk. You're Tony Hawk. You are
the most famous skateboarder in the world.
Greatest, most public-facing ambassador for skating. So for you to come out and say, oh, Thrasher made the wrong decision, after saying on your last post you don't even know what the criteria is, because you're doing this fake humble guy thing that you fucking do all the time. You have the audacity to say, oh, I feel so strongly that Tom Schaar, this guy who skates for my team that happens to be doing the kind of skating that I do, also skating my ramp.
And featuring guest tricks from Tony in both of the parts that he put out this year, by the way. Either that was the least dip Smith grind of all time, or he just missed 50.
Maybe it's time to disassemble the vert ramp, Tony, and stick to doing fucking manuals on stage in the Nutcracker, you twat.
I feel like he should have won so strongly that I'm going to give him my first Thrasher Skater of the Year award, which I gave such little of a fuck about. The trophy is falling to pieces. I'm giving him this old piece of shit that I don't even care about. This is not about Tony. It's not about Tom. It's about Chris Joslin. He's the guy that won this year. How the fuck do you think it probably feels for Chris Joslin, to finally have worked for years and years and years towards this thing that he accomplished? He tray flipped El Toro. And then for Tony fucking Hawk to turn around and be like, I feel so strongly that I'm going to make a big fucking stink on Instagram and present him with the first ever Soty trophy. What the fuck is your problem? He cannot resist the urge to impose his presence on the proceedings. To win Soty, you need to push the boundaries. You need to have done something new. And this is the thing that's frustrating is tray flipping El Toro is so clearly in the top echelon of skateboarding tricks. It's in that category of humongously consequential skateboarding tricks. It's in the pantheon. It's on the level of tricks that how many got random fucking dudes on Instagram reels that look like they're oh, I used to skate and now I'm paying attention again because this big trick that I'm able to understand and identify with just happened. With skateboarding being in the situation it is right now, this trick actually, the way that Tony Hawk's 900, I'm not saying it's as big of a deal, but it's a similar idea. The way Tony Hawk's 900 ignited this massive fucking wave, brought about all this huge popularity, The Joslin tray flip is a similarly impactful trick. I don't expect there's going to be Joslin video games. All these new I used to skate type motherfuckers on Instagram are posting about this trick, talking about how it's important, how it made them cry or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of these dudes are just doing it for attention. But people are noticing that video part has 1 million views. Like a Joslin part has 1 million views in 2025. So the impact and the importance of that tray flip, it's hard to understate it. And the fact that Tony is so oblivious to that and can't see that the claims that he's making about Tom actually apply to Chris is pretty fucking annoying. Jason Ellis, obviously, he's on here fucking making a post too for some reason.
Let's talk for a second about Tom Schaar, who's the greatest skateboarder alive right now in the world. He's also better than any fucking basketball player. Baseball, suck my ass. MMA fighting, you think you're dangerous? You have no idea how much more dangerous the things are that Tom Schaar does.
Who the f*** is that guy?
Skateboarding is so impossible to progress, but yet
Where?
Tom Schaar has progressed.
What did he do?
Vertical skateboarding.
This nigga's legendary.
What did
The
he
greatest
do?
form of skateboarding that you can ever do, but you don't want to do it because you're a pussy and you don't want to get hurt. You got to wear pads. You got to work hard. You don't look cool.
If vert skating is so treacherous and dangerous, how come you can still do it when you're 60 years old? And how come Bob Burnquist did the best vert trick all year and he's 50 years old? Do we really think that anybody who's 50 is going to be able to do the best street trick all year?
But this is the other thing about this conversation that's annoying is, yeah, everybody being like, oh, well, Tom, any single one of Tom's tricks would have been these guys' enders. And it's like, yeah, none of these guys that skate street grew up as some fucking like vert baby. The reason there's a billion times as many street skaters as there are vert skaters is because there's no fucking resources for vert skating. You have to know the right people and grow up in the correct area to even have access to any of these facilities. What's the point in even, this is a completely dumb hypothetical discussion. It's like, okay, well, is Tom going to be able to trifle Bel Toro? Is Tom going to be able to do any of the, is Tom going to be able to switch frontside flip 1 foot Wallenberg? It's like, no. Would he be able to do all that stuff if he didn't focus on vert skating and focus on street skating? This argument is so fucking stupid because it's like, there's like 3 guys skating vert right now. Tom Schaar is one of them. There's like fucking 1,000 pro street skaters. For some reason, you think that Tom Schaar is just better than all of those dudes? Like, you think if every dude that was a viable Soty candidate this year, if they grew up skating vert, you really don't think that they would be able to do similar stuff to Tom Schaar? You think Antonio Doral wouldn't be doing backflips on a fucking vert ramp and a mega ramp?
Fuck your jeans. I give a shit about your sneakers.
Oh my God.
Tom Schaar is the greatest skateboarder alive, which means the greatest athlete alive. Fuck you, everybody else. All sports, suck it. The greatest is alive right now, and you can see his video part. So watch it. And if you don't watch it, it's because you suck and you don't get it, which is pretty much everybody.
The irony of this is that Jason and Tony are like pushing for vert skating to be like cool and relevant again. And Thrasher, for the record, likes that narrative as well. That's why Tom is even relevant, because they want vert skating to be popular. Thrasher likes vert skating. So, and like, yeah, the irony is, do you think that vert skating is going to be appealing to a bunch of kids if these old guys are on Instagram like posting selfie videos being annoying?
Thank you. I mean, in such a huge way that you literally and figuratively elevated vert skating to a level. I mean, to a level not seen since Danny started going big. Bob showed me it was possible.
Bob did a switch topless loop-de-loop. And Danny Way went over the Great Wall of China because he thought of that idea. That's cool. That's a good trick. Is this even close to the same thing? No. Give Curran Caples like a couple White Claws and he'll make it up there, dude.
We were all pulling for you. Obviously, I heard many others who thought that you were going to win. And I realized that I was the first skater of the year.
Yeah,
in 1990.
very aware.
It was a replica. It was a replica of the cover of the first Thrasher. The guy doing slash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he did this at his own chicken restaurant. I didn't even realize that. It's got Chick Hawk. So Tony Hawk is using this, bestowing his old fucking Soty trophy to Tom Schaar, the guy that skates for his brand. He's doing it also as an advertisement for his fucking
chicken restaurant.
Laugh now, Pale King, while you still can. If you find my fabricated demeanor unsettling, you're wise to. My name is Anthony Frank Hogg, ex-podcaster and soon-to-be ex-professional skateboarder. I've been waiting, even training, in anticipation for a moment such as this. As a child, I always had a fascination with death. Naturally, it began with insects. They were the easiest to capture. I climbed trees and turned over stones, searching for tiny creatures to execute. I found myself slowing down the process of my murders as I discovered I was just as attracted to the act of killing as I was witnessing pain. This resulted in a new hobby of mine, torture. I burned them to death with magnifying glasses. I picked their bodies apart, limb from limb. I became addicted to the euphoric sensation as I dismembered the bodies of other creatures created by the same God who had fashioned me in his own image. As you may well imagine, my thirst for control was not satiated by beings with such limited capacity for expression. I required a deeper connection with my victims. I graduated to pets. I offed a few cats in my neighborhood. I liked every aspect of killing. Even the risk of being caught became something I relished. Most never suspected me, because from a young age I had mastered the role of the fool. I put on a dopey front to cloak my true nature. Very few had a gaze that could penetrate my mask, but for those that did, I gazed right back. They saw me for what I was, and I saw them. Tall, skinny, awkward, loner type. I ticked all the boxes. But it's one thing to know something, and it's another to prove it. Up until this point, I'd only ever killed for sport, but now I have a reason. Vengeance. You have threatened to dismantle my carefully curated persona for far too long now. I never intended to kill you, gifted one. But now, you must...
This guy's unbelievable.
I didn't take care of it, so his body fell off. And also, this is the first one that isn't the statue of the skater.
Yeah.
Do you have it?
No, I can't take that. No,
I do. I mean, look at how much I cared for it. You'll take much better care of it than me.
Yeah,
it's
but
super good.
I can't take that. That's like
I absolutely.
There's a
want
piece
you to
of
have that.
This is so fucking weird, man.
That's crazy. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't even know what to say.
It is mine to give onward.
Well,
so I get to deem the next skater of the year, and you are it.
Tom has Tony Hawk's first Soty or whatever. What's gonna happen that like the next time a vert guy decides to drop a vert part? Do you know what I mean? So does Tom like have to give somebody the Tony Hawk first ever Soty trophy because they just decided to put something together? Like, what is this weird little like spite award and how is it going to play out? What if Tom doesn't give it to somebody? Like, that's going to be kind of awkward, isn't it? And I can't really, oh, dude, it's falling apart. I can't really emphasize how incredibly disrespectful this is to Chris Joslin.
And if you can change this name.
No. Hell no. Hell no. I'm leaving the name.
I feel like it says a lot about Tony, too, that he's like, you know, basically giving out pieces of his own legacy, selling them off essentially to keep himself relevant in the current skateboarding conversation. I think Tony's intention here was to try to illustrate himself as this totally selfless guy who was willing to give away this extremely important accolade in order to rectify this perceived mistake that Thrasher had made, and is honoring Tom Schaar's incredible year that he won't stop lying about. And I think he wants people to be like, oh my God, Tony is such a good guy. He doesn't even care about himself. Look what he was willing to do. But in my opinion, this had the complete opposite effect, where it's like, look at the bizarre lengths that Tony is willing to go to insert himself into this situation that doesn't fucking have anything to do with him. Like, none of this is you made your point, you advocated for him, you made a post on Instagram. What is this now that is obviously too far? Like, weird, meddling, obsessive behavior. I think Joslin should have won. People point out that he didn't really have a particularly strong year this year outside of big flipping Wallenberg and tray flipping El Toro, which I agree with. However, I think that circumstances would be different had he not had an incredible career up until this point. When you see Chris Joslin's name on the Soty list, it doesn't like pop out and look weird. It doesn't seem wrong. Recently, you know, skateboarding has been going through a hard time or whatever. Chris Joslin gets dropped, fired, quits Etnies, however exactly that went down. It basically felt like Chris Joslin was getting pushed towards the edges of the industry, which was inevitably going to end up with him basically not being a professional skateboarder anymore. That's how it felt to me, which is fucked up because Joslin has been an extremely popular and consistent presence over the last 10 years in street skating with, you know, not only his video parts, but in contests as well. Like, he's in Street League. He's very entertaining in that as well. Like, he's a valuable asset to skateboarders, people that enjoy watching skateboard. He's always around. He's always doing something. He's played his part very well. And for him basically to sort of be turned into like a black sheep of the industry, where he tray flipped El Toro in Lakai's, and Lakai is such a shit shoe sponsor now that it is like partially owned by a fucking YouTuber. All the natural forces of the industry and of skateboarding were pushing him to the outside, and he did not accept that.